Welcome to our channel where we delve into the depths of the earth to uncover the most harrowing tales of cave exploration gone wrong. The world beneath our feet holds a certain allure, a labyrinth of ancient passages and hidden chambers beckoning the adventurous soul. But within this subterranean realm, danger lurks at every twist and turn. The stories shared are designed to raise awareness about caving, highlighting the potential risks and consequences of taking it lightly. Today we will be looking at 3 horrifying caving stories that went horribly wrong. Viewer discretion is advised. In the desolate landscape of Utah, nestled among the scrub and sagebrush, lies Nutty Putty Cave, a labyrinth of narrow passages and twisting tunnels. It was here, on a crisp November evening in 2006, that a young man named John Jones embarked on what he believed would be a thrilling adventure. John, an experienced caver, was no stranger to the challenges and rewards of exploring the underworld. He had descended into Nutty Putty Cave countless times before, navigating its tight squeezes and treacherous drops with confidence. But on this fateful night, a series of unfortunate events would unfold, leading to a tragedy that would forever be etched in the annals of caving history. As John ventured deeper into the cave, he came across a particularly narrow passage known as the Birth Canal. This section of the cave, barely wider than a human body, had long been a challenge for even the most seasoned cavers. Undeterred, John, confident in his abilities, decided to attempt the passage. Squeezing his way headfirst into the narrow opening, John inched forward, his headlamp casting eerie shadows on the damp cave walls. But as he progressed, he realized with growing horror that he had misjudged the angle of the passage. His body, now wedged tightly in the narrow confines, was stuck fast. Panic began to set in as John struggled to free himself. The pressure on his chest made it difficult to breathe, and the cold, damp air seemed to sap his strength. He twisted and turned, desperately searching for any room to maneuver, but to no avail. He was trapped. Hours passed, and John's situation grew increasingly dire. His cries for help echoed through the empty caverns, but there was no one to hear his pleas. As the night wore on, a rescue team, alerted to John's disappearance, arrived at the cave entrance. They were a determined group, experienced in the perilous task of extracting trapped cavers, but the complexities of Nutty Putty Cave, combined with John's precarious position, made the rescue attempt a nightmare. For days, the rescuers worked tirelessly, their every effort hampered by the unforgiving nature of the cave. They tried rigging ropes and pulleys, hoping to pull John free, but the narrowness of the passage made it impossible to get a secure grip. Time was running out. John's condition was deteriorating rapidly, his body weakened from dehydration and exhaustion. Yet despite the odds stacked against them, the rescue team refused to give up hope. In a last-ditch effort to save John's life, the rescuers devised a daring plan. They would drill a hole through the solid rock above the passage, creating an opening large enough to extract him. The sound of the drill echoed through the cave, a beacon of hope in the darkness. But as the rescuers inched closer to John's position, tragedy struck. A piece of equipment malfunctioned, causing a section of the cave ceiling to collapse. John Jones, trapped for over 28 hours in the unforgiving embrace of Nutty Putty Cave, was pronounced dead at the scene. The Yorkshire Dales, a place of breathtaking beauty, where rolling hills give way to dramatic limestone cliffs, harboring a secret world beneath their surface. In June 1967, a group of 6 experienced cavers ventured into one such cavern, the Mossdale Caverns, unaware of the tragedy that awaited them. The expedition was led by John Ogden and partnered with 5 other skilled cavers. Their objective was exploration, to chart the unmapped passages of the Mossdale system, to push the boundaries of human endeavor in this subterranean realm. They were equipped with the best gear available at the time, their maps meticulously drawn, their spirits high with the anticipation of discovery. The early hours of the expedition went according to plan. The cavers navigated the known sections of the cave, their headlamps illuminating the glistening walls, the sound of dripping water a constant companion. They marveled at the intricate formations, the stalactites and stalagmites, nature's sculptures formed over eons. As they ventured deeper, the passages became narrower, the air thicker with moisture. They encountered a junction, a point where the cave split into 2. After careful consideration, they chose the passage that appeared larger, their thirst for exploration overriding any sense of foreboding. Unbeknownst to the cavers, a series of heavy downpours had been lashing the surface above. The rain, relentless in its intensity, was seeping through the porous limestone, transforming the subterranean streams into raging torrents. The first sign of trouble came as a distant roar, a deep guttural sound that reverberated through the caverns. The cavers, their senses heightened, stopped in their tracks, their headlamps casting dancing shadows on the damp walls. Suddenly, a wall of water, a raging torrent, surged through the passage, catching them completely off guard. The force of the water was immense, sweeping them off their feet, tossing them like rag dolls against the jagged rocks. The cavers, their lights extinguished, were plunged into absolute darkness, the roar of the water deafening. They clung desperately to any handhold they could find, their bodies battered and bruised, their spirits broken. The floodwaters continued to rise, filling the caverns with terrifying speed. The cavers huddled together, their voices lost in the roar, knew that their situation was desperate. They were trapped, their escape route cut off by the relentless deluge. On the surface, as the storm raged, a rescue operation was being mounted. Word had spread of the missing cavers, and a team of experienced volunteers, equipped with ropes and pumps, descended into the flooded caverns. The rescuers faced a daunting task. The entrance to the cave was submerged, the water levels rising rapidly. They worked tirelessly, their every effort hampered by the treacherous conditions, their hopes dwindling with each passing hour. Days turned into nights, and still, the floodwaters showed no sign of receding. After days of relentless effort, the rescue operation was called off. The 6 cavers, their bodies never recovered, were entombed within the watery depths of the Mossdale Caverns, a stark reminder of the unpredictable and unforgiving nature of the underworld. Chapter 3. The Floyd Collins Tragedy. In the heart of Kentucky, beneath a landscape of rolling hills and verdant forests, lies a network of caves, a subterranean world of mystery and allure. It was here, in the winter of 1925, that a young caver named Floyd Collins found himself trapped in a nightmare, an ordeal that would grip the nation and become a chilling testament to the unforgiving nature of the underworld. Floyd Collins was a seasoned explorer, a man drawn to the unknown depths of the earth. He was familiar with the risks, the dangers that lurked within the darkness, yet he was captivated by the allure of discovery, the thrill of pushing the boundaries of human exploration. On a cold January day, Floyd ventured into Sand Cave, a labyrinth of narrow passages and treacherous drops. He was on a quest to find a new entrance, a route that would open up the cave to tourists and cement his legacy as a master explorer. As Floyd descended deeper into the cave, his headlamp illuminating the glistening walls, he came across a narrow passage, a tight squeeze that promised to lead to a larger chamber beyond. It was a route he had taken many times before, a familiar path in the darkness. Squeezing his way through the narrow opening, Floyd inched forward, his body pressed against the cold, damp rock, but as he progressed, he realized with growing horror that he had made a terrible mistake. A rock he had used for leverage had shifted, pinning his left foot tightly in the unforgiving grip of the cave. Panic surged through Floyd as he struggled to free himself. He twisted and turned, desperately searching for any room to maneuver, but to no avail. He was trapped, his leg pinned beneath the weight of the rock, his cries for help echoing through the empty caverns. As hours turned into days, Floyd's situation grew increasingly desperate. The cold, damp air chilled him to the bone, and hunger and thirst gnawed at his strength. Yet despite his predicament, he clung to hope, his spirit fueled by the knowledge that his cries for help might reach the surface. News of Floyd's plight spread like wildfire, and soon, a rescue operation was underway. People from all walks of life, drawn by a mixture of curiosity and compassion, flocked to the site, eager to witness the unfolding drama. The rescuers faced a daunting task. The entrance to the cave was narrow and treacherous, and the passage where Floyd was trapped was barely wide enough to accommodate a small child. They worked tirelessly, their every effort hampered by the unforgiving nature of the cave. Days turned into weeks, and still, Floyd remained trapped. Food and water were lowered to him through a narrow passage, and a telephone line was installed, allowing him to speak to the outside world, his voice a beacon of hope from the depths. But despite the outpouring of concern and the tireless efforts of the rescuers, fate had a cruel twist in store. As they were on the verge of freeing Floyd, a massive cave-in occurred, blocking the passage and sealing his fate. These stories, etched in the annals of caving history, serve as a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in cave exploration. Always ensure you are well prepared and guided by experienced cavers before venturing into these subterranean realms. Stay safe and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational content.